play a couple who reunite in the small town where they grew up in the original Hallmark Channel movie. It's called Portrait of Love, and it's premiering this Saturday right here on Hallmark Channel. So please welcome Bree Williamson and Jason Dohring. So what's the relation? Obviously, these are people who've lost their way and they come back together. But what's the relationship between these two characters like?
She sort of plays a high-powered fashion photographer who comes back to her hometown, and we used to do art competitions, and we would pair together as kids in school, and so she comes back, and we're sort of forced to work together again, and we sort of rekindle artistic inspiration and our relationship.
Well, did she?
I'm gonna gloss over the part where he dumped me.
Yeah, I was gonna just ask you.
He just kind of glossed over that.
Yeah.
Oh, I bitter party the one over there, right?
But you come back to your little town being a high-powered attorney. Do you bring your high-powered attorney attitude with you to the little town?
Yes, somewhat. I feel like that.
Yes.
Photographer.
Photographer, yeah.
Photographer. I'm sorry. Yes.
She's
A
as smart as an
photographer.
attorney. But
Yes. I'm not the smart.
She takes pictures of photographers.
Yeah, photographer. Yeah.
Yes. I do, but you also, in the beginning scenes, you see April in her element, being a high-powered photographer and like really confident and sure of herself. And then, she gets some news and she doesn't really know which way her life is going to go. And I feel like being in her hometown kind of grounds her and has grounded her. So she definitely becomes more relatable, especially when she
needs a man, basically.
She needs a man.
Oh,
By the way, I love that.
Wow.
By the way, I love how this is the universal sign for photographer. You're like, what is
thank
that?
you.
What is like this is for cranking down the window, even though it's now electric. It's crank down your window. You guys you're both married, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to each other, though.
No, not to each other.
Yeah.
But you have, I always wondered about this because how do you do those kissing scenes? Do you let your spouse know, today's day I gotta do that kissing scene?
How do you do it?
You know what's funny about it is my husband gets that question all the time because I was on a soap opera forever and all I did was kiss people every day. I spent more time with my clothes off than on. But he was, his whole view of it is he was more disturbed at like parts where I was crying and very upset rather than like the kissing part because he understands that it's just acting and whatever, and it's the parts where like my spouse would die and I'd be freaking out and crying and upset that he couldn't watch.
Right.
But the kissing, he's like, whatever. Like I have a horror film coming out and he's like, I'm not watching that film, but I would love to see Portrait of Love. So yeah.
Aww.
Is it the same for you?
Yeah, I always considered it just very professional. I never was like, trying to go beyond, take liberties or whatever. So it was just very professional. You go in and you do it and you give it your all, you know what I mean, and whatever, and then you're done. And
But still, you take a mint, don't you? At least out of
for sure.
Jason was very, very sweet before our first kissing scene. He was like, it's okay, you can trust me, it's totally professional. I was like, I know, dude, it's cool. Let's do it. He was very, very sweet and professional and really great.
Wow. She wasn't.
No.
Anyway, kidding. Set this up. We're going to see these. Are we seeing these two trying to make it work?
A clip. You'll see it when she first comes back into town and they sort of meet each other, sort of see each other for the first time, and then it kind of...
Again for the first time?
Yeah, and then you kind of see the history.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad to tell you in person what I think of your art. It's amazing. You're like a famous photographer.
I don't know if I'm famous. Maybe just around here.
I gotta admit, I was a little surprised that that's the direction you chose.
Well, I learned a lot in art school.
Okay. I see that it's time for me to go back and finish my lunch.
You would help him make art?
Uh-huh.
Here's your receipt and credit card, ma'am.
There you go. Don't worry, I'm just here doing a favor for Julia, and I'm only here for a little while, and then I'll be gone.
Yeah, I mean, you never really were a big fan of Belmont Hill, so...
That's not the case. I just didn't think it was a problem exploring the world. You should go and finish your lunch, because you're standing in the middle of the street holding a spoon.
That kind of flips it.
Oh,
Wow, I was like, this is going so well.
I know.
Love is
You
messy.
blew it.
she took a turn.
Yeah, and Love is messy, but you guys also got messy doing this, right? There was
Yes.
a scene that got a little bit out of hand.
Jason's favorite scene in the
Oh my
whole
gosh.
film.
So yeah, we play artists, and we're making like a plaster tree, and it was so cool because we did the camera shot on her like this, and I'm throwing plaster at her, and she's throwing plaster at me, and then they turn the camera around like this, And two, like Bree's super strong, but they brought in some extra firepower. They got one of the biggest guys on set to stand next to Bree, and he started throwing stuff at me too.
Oh, wow.
This was the plan.
I totally forgot about
I know,
this.
I knew you
Oh my
forgot. I
God, I
wanted to bring it
totally
up.
forgot.
So then they yell action, and I'm like this, and I throw it like this, and he's got on a big like plastic bag or whatever, and I just see him go, and I see like a little plaster, like a little bit below the belt.
Oh,
And
ow.
I had hit him, and he was like, and he had to be totally quiet
What?
because we were shooting, and I was laughing so hard, and Bree was dying, and the whole crew was like trying to be quiet but laughing. It was the best.
That's always funny. I don't care who you are.
Oh,
That's
it's
always
so
funny.
funny.
Stuff like that when it happens, you
Yeah.
always
Look,
have
you look like you're having a great time. Look at that.
Oh, I'm really laughing. I'm really cracking
Yeah, he
up.
is. He's
Is that
actually,
the guy in the background over Bree's shoulder?
No,
Oh,
no. He was
No,
bigger
that's
than
all
Jason.
mad.
It's double. It's double
Yeah.
Jason there. But he also got to. He was so excited for that whole day because he got to throw plaster in my face. He actually
Yeah.
hit me one time and it went all over my face, and it was your favorite day, I think.
Can we do
Yeah.
a segment here on throwing plaster? Really? Can we do that?
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch this. Why don't we do a kissing scene?
Whoa!
Ah, there you go. There you go. See?
I just
Go ahead.
threw up in my mouth a little.
Hallmark people are wait, right there. They're standing right there. Go ahead.
So let me ask you guys this. So you're both married to artists, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You both, your spouses are. Did that help you all?
Yeah, did you confer with them about what you were doing?
Is that your
I
think
did.
tank?
I did. My husband, if he had his way, we would be living in Paris and he would be sculpting in our like studio there, and that's what he would like to do for a living. So it was really great that we, had this sculpture moment with this tree that was beautiful. It was so gorgeous what they created for us. So he kind of walked me through different things, so I knew it looked like I knew what I was doing. Yeah, and Jason actually recommended taking an art class, and I was like, I got it. My husband's a sculptor. It's totally cool. You can come over and get some tips. And
And you did? Did you?
Yeah, I definitely called friends and resources. My wife is a fine artist. She's a painter, and I think they have some of her.
Did they bring some of it?
Possibly.
Because
I don't know.
wait for it, it's coming up.
Okay.
Do we have it?
Okay. there
Oh
we go.
my,
Oh my
that's
goodness, your wife
beautiful.
did that?
Yeah, that's my wife's sister actually.
Wow,
so,
that's beautiful.
Oh
yeah,
my
she's
goodness, she's
quite good.
so talented.
Thank you.
Enjoy retirement. I mean, you just live off of that.
This is the last thing I'm doing.
Wow, phenomenal. All right.
Well, thank you both for
Yeah,
sharing
thank
with
you
us
so
today.
much.
Thank you.
Cool.